Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nayri, also known as Wedding Fashion Expert. This week, we are talking about my top 7 tips as a newly engaged bride as you begin the search for your wedding dress. For those of you that are new to my channel, welcome. I am so honored that you have found me. I am, of course, a wedding fashion expert, stylist, buyer, educator within the industry, and wear so many different hats at LOVELLA Bridal, located in Los Angeles, California. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment below. Let me know if there is a particular video topic, anything you'd like me to create for you. I am here for you, guiding you along the way leading up to your special day. For daily content, please be sure to follow on Instagram at LOVELLA Bridal, at LOVELLA Plus, and at Wedding Fashion Expert. You can now subscribe on Instagram for Wedding Fashion Expert for exclusive weekly content that you are the first to see, available for you only on Instagram. So be sure to go subscribe after this video. Lastly, follow on TikTok at LOVELLA Bridal and at Wedding Fashion Expert. For all my newly engaged brides out there, of course I recommend binge watching my channel. In addition to this video, I wanted to create a video for all of you that gives you my top 7 concise tips as you begin your search for your wedding dress. Tip number 1, dresses take 6 to 8 months to order. So ideally, as you're setting your wedding date, you want to make sure that when you're ordering and shopping for your dress, that you have minimum a year from the time you place your order to your wedding date. That's ideal. However, if you want to get married sooner than a year, that's totally possible. You are just more limited to dress options. As you begin your search and you start shopping, your wedding date definitely decides what we can and can't get in time for you. You want to keep in mind that yes, majority of dresses where you are not limited on options is 6 to 8 months of delivery time, plus several months for alterations. You also want to leave a little room for gowns to potentially run a little bit late. Doesn't happen often, but it is something that you want to prepare for because gowns are approximate ship dates. We don't have a firm delivery date that is given to stores. So you definitely want to keep that in mind as you begin your search. If you are having a wedding quickly, a sample is a great option for you, and you can go back and I will link for you a video for sample sales and trunk shows just so that you can learn a little bit more about that. So again, if you don't have a year, don't panic, there are options. Ideally, in a perfect world, you want to be shopping a year before your wedding so that you are not limited on any gown choices at all. Tip number 2, start doing your research for bridal stores and pick your stores wisely. Going on a marathon of stores and dress searches is not something that I recommend. I recommend you pick your stores strategically, pick stores that have a great reputation, a large variety of designers that you're interested in. So definitely do your research in terms of the styles. Now, of course, brides come in store with an image of a dress and can often get the complete opposite. But you have an aesthetic. Find out which designers appeal to you and pick stores that have a really large selection. It's not about quantity of stores, it's about quality and them having the selection and the right service and proper things that are going to serve your needs. Typically, I recommend no more than 3 stores and make your selection. If you pick the 3 stores really wisely, you're going to give yourself so much to see that it's plenty. If you keep going to additional stores, you actually start seeing the same things and same designers and overlapping, and you start seeing the same thing over and over again. 3 stores is typically the magic number, and of course, we've had brides who just come to LOVELLA, pick their dress, and they're done. Each experience for the bride is uniquely theirs, so don't compare your experience to others. Do what's best for you, but this is not a marathon of how many dresses I can try on, because if you go that route, it actually works against you versus for you and becomes super confusing. So be super strategic in the stores that you visit. That now takes us into tip number 3, which is start booking appointments. Once you identify the stores that you want to go to, you definitely want to get your name on the appointment books. Why is that? Just to put in perspective, if you are looking for a weekend appointment, LOVELLA actually books out about a month to a month and a half on weekends in advance. On weekdays, you're looking at about like 3 weeks to 4 weeks out. So definitely want to get your name on the books and be prepared so you're not juggling at the last minute and stressing over getting into appointments. I'm going to sneak in a little bonus tip in here that's not part of the 7, but I think it's important. If you are having a bad day and you don't think it's going to be a productive day to go shopping, definitely cancel your appointment. You will be doing the store and you a service by not shopping on a day that you're just not feeling great. You want this to be as productive as possible and a good use of your time, and you also want it to be a positive experience. So if you're having a bad day and it's just not vibing, do yourself and the store a favor and go ahead and cancel your appointment. We will not hold it against you and just reschedule. Tip number 4, do not wait to lose weight to order your wedding dress. I have a whole video on this and I will link it for you below, but essentially you do not want to wait to lose weight before you order the dress. And the quick answer to this is, I want you to pick a dress when you feel your least beautiful. Why would I have you do that? Because if you feel confident and beautiful in the dress that you're wearing when you are not at your ideal weight, if you lose the weight or not, you're going to be so happy with that dress. If you love the way that it looks on you when you don't feel the best about yourself and it gives you that confidence, it's only gonna get better or stay the same. Like, it's not gonna be worse if you lose weight or gain weight, whatever your goal is. Everybody has different goals. So I encourage you to pick your dress when you're at the place you are at the time so that you're not limited on your dress options. Going back to tip number 1, which you don't want to be limited on your options. You might be thinking, how would alterations work? How would I know what size to order? The beautiful thing is that we can always size things down. And if you were to gain weight, we can always let the dress out depending on the dress or add a corset back. That's what alterations are for. And that's why alterations are necessary for any bridal purchase. This is a gown that is tailored to you. Unlike most events that you go to, this is a completely different type of purchase. So I want you to say yes to the dress when you are at your least confident, which I know sounds crazy, but if you wait, you will be limited on options. And I swear it's not crazy. Sounds it, but it's not. It works, and I'm telling you, it is super, super successful, and your stylist will help guide you along the way to set you up for success. Tip number 5, bring in images of dresses that you like. Make sure you're coming in with things to show your stylist so that your stylist understands your taste, what visually appeals to you. And then we can take it from there. And also have an open mind and an open heart. When a stylist recommends you to try on something, give it a try, even if you hate it. Trust the process. You are going to learn something from that dress, even if it's a no-go. You put it on and we learn something about it. Nothing is a waste of time. Trust the process, go through the motions, and who knows, you may be surprised that something they recommended is so much better than you would have ever thought, or you completely hate it, and that's totally cool too. But that's part of the process. You're getting married, you're trying on dresses. Have fun with that process. You'd be so surprised where things may potentially lead you. Tip number 5 is a 2-part. I want you to come in with dresses that you want to see, and I also want you to come in with a price point. Oftentimes, brides think that a price point is going to limit their options. On Lovella's website, we have all of our designers along with the price points of each collection. So you can always ask the store, what price point do you start at? What collections do you have if it's not listed on their website, so that you're aware. And that way, when you're looking at the photos online that they have in store, you can also associate that to a price range in which you feel comfortable. It's really helpful for the price range because the price point tells us where you want to be. In a perfect world, how much are you willing to invest in your dress? So valuable. And as a stylist, if I ever see that a bride is wanting a particular look that really is not realistic within the price point she's willing to invest, I will tell her, I'm going to show you everything in this price point. And then I'm going to show you on a hanger first what's available in a bit of a higher price point if I feel it's necessary. Obviously, I'm not doing that if we can fulfill the need in the price point that the bride wants to spend in, right? And then I let that bride make a knowledgeable decision. Sometimes you need to see everything to understand what the dollar buys you. I also have a video that I will link for you below as well of what the dollar buys you and different types of dresses so that you can compare the price points for the styles, and also so you can see it in store, the construction, the fit, and all of that, and make a knowledgeable decision on how much you're willing to invest. So those two things are extremely valuable when you come in for your appointment: photos of dresses you love to show your stylist, and also a price point ballpark of what you're willing to invest in your dress. And also keep in mind that alterations are a separate fee. That is not included in the price of the gown. Tip number 6, wear nude undergarments to your appointment. Hot pink and black underwear or any bright colors show through most of the dresses and are super distracting, especially if you're taking photo and video. Nude undergarments for the win. And I also have a video that I will link for you on what to do if you're a super shy bride and you're uncomfortable with someone changing you for your appointment. I give you all the tips and tricks in that video if you want to learn a little bit more about that. And if you're shy and just kind of want to know how to handle that situation, it definitely can be awkward for someone changing you, but just know that we do it all day long and we're really not looking. It's not very comfortable to get in these dresses and zip up by yourself. You're going to want help with that. Last but not least, tip number 7. Pick your guests that you are shopping with wisely. I say this with the most loving and caring heart possible. Take people with you that know your aesthetic, know your style, and that are going to be very supportive of you. If you know that you have a cousin or a friend or a relative, whoever it may be, that may be offended that you didn't include them, but just don't have your vision, don't have your style. They love you and they care for you, but they're not going to be very helpful in the process, and they're going to create some tension and really make it confusing for you, and maybe their voices really impact the decisions you make. I encourage you to pull out the bride secret. And the bride secret, I have a whole video on this for you, which I will link below as well. But just to address it here, the bride secret is if you're going to be surprising your fiance with your dress for the wedding, why can't you surprise everyone? So if you want to keep it a secret, you have my permission, if you need permission to do so, that you actually don't have to show anyone you don't want to the dress. And you can simply tell them, I want you to be surprised just like my fiance on wedding day, and I want to keep it a secret. And just say that you hope that they will respect your wishes on that, and you can definitely keep it private. Don't feel obligated to get everyone's opinion. The last thing I want to point out here is not only do you want to pick your guests wisely, because that does shape your experience while you are in store shopping for the dress, but once you leave, you don't want to show people photos of these dresses, because here's what happens. When you're in the dress, there's a certain feeling, a certain energy, the way that a dress made you feel. And you end up in this evolution and this dress search based on what you've tried, right? I start with a bride, I show her one dress, I get feedback, leads us to the next, which leads us to the next. When you're showing photos completely disconnected from the experience you've had in store, number 1, it could be a bad angle of the photo. Number 2, you are opening Pandora's box for opinions that are out of context to what you just experienced. That's going to mess with your head, whether you think it will or not. So if you are going to value someone's opinion on the dress that you're going to wear down the aisle, they need to be a part of you with that experience. And if they are not a part of you, just be prepared for them to impact your thoughts, even if you think they aren't impacting it. It's amazing how this works, and it really does happen. Along with you analyzing the photos, you also forget how you felt and looked in the dress. So I encourage you, while you're in your dress, to look at the photos of you in the dress so that you can see them side by side simultaneously versus just the dress, just the photo. It's going to shape your perspective, and you're going to start zooming in on things. And keep in mind, the sample that you're standing in is not how the dress fits you once it's altered to you. So if you're analyzing the fit of a dress through a photo, you're analyzing something that may or may not be how it's going to look on wedding day. So if you see something that you don't like, definitely ask your stylist so that they can address that for you. but I definitely encourage you to make the decision while you're in the dress and be super mindful of whose opinions you allow in, whether they are physically with you or not. Be super, super strategic about it. It ultimately just creates the experience that you end up having. And so many times I have seen brides have buyer's remorse because they bought a dress when they were listening to everyone's opinions and not listening to what truly makes them feel happy, beautiful, confident, and excited to marry their person in. I hope that you found this video helpful. For more videos and tips like these, be sure to tune in every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will link everything for you below for you to go into greater detail on all of this that I discussed today. And I will see you in next week's video.